Hi, I'm Emma Webster.
And I'm Ken. You dig it. And today we're going to be discussing to the extent of how Iago is responsible for the deaths of four of his close friends, Rodrigo, Desdemona, Emilia, and Othello.
The first victim we will discuss is Rodrigo. So other than the fact that Iago actually did murder Rodrigo, as stated in Scene 5, Act 1, line 62 and 63. O murderous slave, O villain. This is where Iago stabs Rodrigo, and Iago responds with, O damned Iago, O inhuman dog. And that's just basically the scene where Iago kills Rodrigo. But some may think that it wasn't necessarily Iago's fault, because in Scene 2, Act 1, line 219 to 220, Iago says Desdemona is directly in love with him. This would fuel Rodrigo's jealousy. So other than Iago stating the fact to fuel Rodrigo's jealousy, some may say that it isn't Iago's fault because that's Rodrigo's own doing. It's his choice whether to act jealous or not, but others may say that Iago was the start of his jealousy.
Whatever happened to predictability?
Desdemona. Desdemona was tragically suffocated by Othello, but for all victims, we believe that Iago is responsible in some way, shape, or form for the deaths of these people. Desdemona's case, we're going to take a little bit of a different approach than most people normally would. And we're going to take the approach all the way back to Act 1, Scene 2, when Brabantio is involved, who is Desdemona's father. And he says, O thou foul thief, where hast thou stowed my daughter? Damned as thou art, thou hast enchanted her, and referred to Othello. And the fact that he's very upset that the Moor, Othello in this case, could woo her daughter and he not know about it, and this stirs up complications since he's he's very high up in the military, and as a civilian he's very highly accredited. So he's very upset by this, and this drives him to create bad relations with him and his daughter, and with the city, and with all the people. And that's from Iago's doing by instigating this conversation with Brabantio and letting him know what's going on. So that's the whole spark of the plug that caused the whole death. But some may say that Desdemona, she put it upon herself, or it was inevitable for her to die, especially after Othello found out the truth. This is found in Act 3, Scene 3, lines 309 to 311, when she says, O curse of marriage, that we can call this delicate creatures ours, and not their appetites. So she refers to the fact that, we try as we must to make marriages work, but in the sense it's all the male's fault. So she puts the blame on Othello, and not being, the loyal and loving husband that he should be in that scenario, because this is when he found out that she was a cheater. And but the fact of the matter is, none of that would have happened if Iago didn't instigate the whole thing.
Everywhere you look.
Victim is Emilia. Emilia is a character in Othello, and she was married to Iago. So therefore, she is Iago's wife. And in Scene 4, Act 3, lines 97 through 99, she says, But I do think it is not their husband's fault, it's the wife's due fault. Which is basically saying how no matter what happens, no matter what the husband does, it always affects the wife. And you can see that through scenes where Iago has asked Emilia to take Desdemona's handkerchief, and he has stolen that, and that's another root of jealousy that fueled Othello's rage to kill Desdemona. So not only is Emilia involved in her own murder, but as well as Desdemona's. And besides the fact that in Scene 5 that Iago does end up stabbing Emilia due to her basically discovering everything that he did or basically discovering everything that he did to fuel Othello's jealousy and to cause so many deaths.
When you're lost out there and you're all alone.
Our last victim, the infamous Othello. Othello, as we know in the very end, takes his own life. Very tragic, and that's why this is known as a tragedy. But whose fault was it that caused him to drive himself to kill himself? Well, some say that it could be, the fact that he killed Desdemona, later finding out that she was innocent of all cause and that she was loyal. There's a whole bunch of arguments, but the fact of the matter is that Iago was involved in this, and he is responsible for his death. And we take it back all the way to Acts 3, Scene 3, lines 165 to 167. Iago says to Othello, "Oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster which doth mock the meat it feeds on." Not only is this the most famous quote in the entire play, but this is actually a very good piece of foreshadowing in the fact that Iago tells Othello, look, everybody gets jealous, but don't let it eat you, because what it does is the more jealous you get and the more you let it eat you, the worse it's going to get. And obviously we found that out by killing his innocent wife, and then finding all of his friends dying, and then killing himself. So the fact of the matter is that Iago feeding him this piece of information in Acts 3 carried him and drove him to insanity and sabotaging his whole entire life at the very end.
I'm Emma Webster.
I'm Woodrow, but don't have a paddle.
And if you have any comments, concerns, questions, there'll be a link in the bio. You can comment, but we probably won't put the link in the bio, so yeah.
You'll see us in person, it's okay.
Yeah, it works.
Over and out.
Should I say the first victim? Wait, do I have to say what else do I have to say?
Okay, first up, Rodrigo. And then Chuck.
Then Chuck and Ryan. Okay.
To make it funny.
Okay.